Let's talk about a very valuable resource for your dogs, food. Let's start out with feeding times. The most beneficial way to feed your dog is using a feeding schedule. Every dog can be on a feeding schedule, even picky eaters. The only reason to free feed is for medical reasons. Typically dogs become less picky once they have been put on a feeding schedule. Take for example, a dog on a feeding schedule who usually eats within 5 minutes of getting its food. One day the food is given to them and they decide not to eat it. This could be the first sign of an illness. During feeding time. If you have all the dogs eating in the same space, then they have to be monitored. If one dog goes to the other's bowl, resident dog or new dog, then redirect them back to their bowl. That could create conflict if they try to share the same bowl. If they can't handle eating in the same room even while monitoring them, then you should find separate feeding spaces, or separate kennels for them until they are more comfortable eating around each other. This could take years if ever, depending on the dog's personalities. Make sure to pick bowls up after feeding. Each dog gets a maximum of 15 minutes to finish their food unless they are still actively eating it. Then the bowls get picked up even if there is still food in them. Next up, dog zones. These are areas your dogs can go to be away from the other dogs to enjoy food, toys and other valuable resources alone. Giving dogs stuffed food toys like Kongs and Topple are great ways to get some peace and quiet. When there is more than one animal in the house, each animal should have their own space to enjoy the resource. If you want more enrichment ideas, please refer to the video linked in the description box. Kennels are a great way to have separate feeding places for the dogs. Feeding in the kennel will also create a good strong association between the kennel and dinner. Separate rooms or placemats when supervised are also great options. Never leave dogs alone together, especially with food resources present. This could change over time but depends on each individual dog. If you want to work on creating good associations with other dogs here around food, here are a few ideas. One good way to start working on it is the name game. This one is easy. Have both dogs positioned a few feet apart, or even in separate kennels. Say one of the dog's names and hand them a treat. If the other dog moves in to take the treat when it is not their turn, take the treat back, and try again with the same name. After a dog is successful, do the same thing for the next dog. The game is about taking turns and getting treats in the presence of another dog. More information will be linked in the description box. If you are having trouble with your dog resource guarding against other dogs or people, please consult a qualified professional dog trainer. Like, follow and subscribe for more dog training tips and tricks.